In the high-stakes world of the NBA, moments of greatness often blur the line between human capability and the impossible. These are the split-second feats that leave fans gasping, commentators stunned, and players immortalized in the annals of basketball history. Imagine a player soaring from the free throw line, defying gravity as if the laws of physics don't apply to him, or a game-winning three-pointer launched under intense defensive pressure with the buzzer milliseconds away from silencing the crowd. These aren't just plays, they're spectacles that feel superhuman, moments that make even the most seasoned analysts ask, how did he do that? From alley-oops thrown from impossible angles to one-handed blocks that seem ripped straight from an action movie, the NBA has gifted us a treasure trove of he's not human moments. And behind every unbelievable play lies a story of sheer talent, relentless training, and the audacity to dream bigger than anyone else on the court. Today, we dive into some of the most jaw-dropping instances where players transcended the boundaries of human limitation, carving their names into basketball folklore. Prepare to relive moments that feel more like legends than reality, where superstars like LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and Giannis Antetokounmpo rewrote the definition of what's possible in basketball. What follows isn't just a highlight reel, it's a celebration of the extraordinary. Behind every unbelievable NBA moment lies the untold story of struggle, resilience, and passion that shapes a player into the athlete we see on the court. For many of these basketball icons, the journey begins in humble settings, often in communities where dreams of making it to the NBA seem as distant as the stars. Take, for example, a young LeBron James, who grew up in Akron, Ohio. Raised by a single mother who worked tirelessly to provide for him, basketball became his escape, a way to channel his energy and rise above the challenges of an unstable childhood. Or Michael Jordan, who despite being cut from his high school varsity team, used that rejection as fuel to ignite an unmatched work ethic and determination. From backyard hoops to midnight practices, these players demonstrated an extraordinary dedication to the sport long before they became household names. But it's not just about talent, it's about heart. Giannis Antetokounmpo's rise from the streets of Athens, Greece, where he sold trinkets to help his family survive, is a testament to perseverance. Barely able to afford a proper meal, Giannis dreamed of making it big in a sport he only started playing in his teens. His early struggles didn't just shape him, they forged the relentless drive we now see in his dominant performances on the court. Each player has a unique journey, yet their stories share a common thread: a deep connection to basketball as a source of hope, a means of self-expression, and a lifeline to a better future. These backstories not only provide context to their astonishing performances, but also humanize the superhuman feats we witness on the court. As we dive deeper into these not human moments, understanding the paths that led these players to greatness makes their achievements all the more inspiring. Every great player's journey isn't just marked by triumphs, but by moments of profound struggle that test their limits. For many, these challenges come at the height of their careers, shattering their momentum and leaving their futures hanging in the balance. Take Derrick Rose, for instance, who was once hailed as the youngest MVP in NBA history. His explosive speed and agility on the court made him unstoppable. But then, in a split second during a playoff game, he tore his ACL. As he lay on the court clutching his knee, the dreams of Chicago and his own aspirations seemed to crumble. The news that he might never regain his prime athletic form hit harder than any opponent ever could. Or think about Kevin Durant during the 2019 NBA Finals. With the Golden State Warriors on the brink of elimination, Durant took the court, knowing he wasn't fully recovered from a previous injury, but in one fateful play, his Achilles ruptured. The arena fell silent as he limped off the court, the weight of uncertainty about his career and legacy looming large. For Paul George, the horror was even more immediate. During a Team USA scrimmage, he suffered a gruesome leg injury that left players and fans in shock. In those moments, the thought of ever playing again seemed almost impossible. These moments aren't just physical, they're deeply emotional. Players faced not only the pain of their injuries, but also the fear of losing everything they've worked so hard for. The criticism and doubt from the outside world only add to the pressure. Fans, analysts, and even teammates start to question, can they ever come back? In every case, the stakes couldn't be higher. Careers hang in the balance. Reputations are on the line. And for the players themselves, it's not just about returning to the court. It's about proving to the world and themselves that they're more than the sum of their setbacks. It's in these moments of vulnerability and conflict that the seeds of greatness are often sown, setting the stage for comebacks that will defy the odds and redefine what's humanly possible. The true test of an athlete isn't in their victories, but in the moments when everything seems lost. When the cameras turn off and the fans head home, the real struggle begins. It's in these hours of relentless effort and sacrifice that the heart of a champion is revealed. For these players, the road to recovery and redemption wasn't paved with easy victories or a clear path forward. It was a battle fought in the silence of their minds, through grueling physical therapy sessions, and in the loneliness of training long after others had gone home. Take Derrick Rose again, for example. After his devastating knee injury, he didn't simply take a break and hope for the best. Instead, he fought through endless hours of rehab. There were days when he couldn't even walk without pain, but he would push himself through the physical agony, knowing the only way out was through. There were moments when I thought it was over, Rose admitted, but every time doubt crept in, he would remember the promise he made to himself and his city, to never give up. He spent countless hours at the gym, getting shots up late into the night, his body screaming for rest but his heart unwilling to quit. His mind, however, became his greatest opponent. The fear that his body might never be the same again haunted him during every training session. Yet, with each drop of sweat, each painful step forward, his will to prove the doubters wrong grew stronger. Similarly, Kevin Durant's journey back from his Achilles injury was no less grueling. Durant was known for his precise movements, agility, and smooth jump shot, and he feared that his athleticism wouldn't return after the injury. But he wasn't going to let the injury define his career. His days were spent in the gym, focusing on strengthening his body and regaining the flexibility that once made him one of the most unstoppable forces in the league. There were dark days when it felt like the game had passed him by. On days when he couldn't move like he once did, the doubts would creep in. Would he ever return to his MVP level? Would he be able to compete at the highest level again? But Durant's resilience didn't allow him to stop. Even when the pain was unbearable, even when progress seemed slow, Durant fought through, inching closer to the man he used to be. Paul George's recovery was no different. The gruesome leg injury left him in excruciating pain, and doctors told him it might take years to return to his former self, if at all. But George wasn't ready to accept defeat. For him, it was about proving that his spirit was unbreakable, even if his body had been shattered. He was determined to not only return to the NBA, but to return stronger. His mornings began with intense physical therapy sessions, his evenings with on-court drills to regain his shooting form. At times, George felt like a shadow of his former self, questioning if he could ever get back to his previous level of play. But he never gave up. Day by day, he focused on his recovery, putting in the hours in the gym, pushing past his limits, and persevering through moments of self-doubt. Behind every one of these players was a team of support, coaches who believed in their potential, teammates who offered encouragement, and families who never gave up on them. These people played a crucial role in pushing them when they wanted to quit. Coaches, like Tom Thibodeau for Derrick Rose, pushed him not just to recover physically, but to rebuild his mental strength. They offered a steady hand when everything seemed uncertain. Teammates, like Kevin Durant's Warriors brothers, stayed in constant contact, urging him to trust the process and reminding him of the legacy he still had to build. And family members, spouses, parents, siblings provided the emotional support that kept them going. Yet the real battle was always internal. It was about facing the doubt in the mirror, the fear of failure, and the exhaustion of pushing past physical limits. But every drop of sweat, every sacrifice made, every painful step forward became a piece of the puzzle in their eventual comeback. The journey wasn't just about reclaiming their place in the game, it was about reclaiming their identity and proving to themselves that their true power lay not in avoiding obstacles, but in overcoming them. In this fight, there was no room for excuses. The pain was real, the obstacles were real, but so was the determination to keep going. After months of grueling struggle, doubts, and setbacks, there comes a moment, a defining moment, when everything clicks. It's the instant when all the pain, the sacrifice, the lonely hours of training start to pay off. This is where the player's journey takes a pivotal turn, where they realize they might just be able to conquer the odds and return to the game they love. For Derrick Rose, this moment came during a regular season game in 2013. After over a year of rehabbing his torn ACL, he had been working relentlessly in silence, still haunted by the memories of his injury. But it wasn't just about getting back on the court anymore. It was about proving to the world, and more importantly to himself, that he wasn't broken. It happened during a game against the Indiana Pacers when Rose scored 24 points, including several clutch baskets in the fourth quarter. In those final moments of the game, as he stood on the court, there was a sense of clarity that washed over him. The fear, the doubt, the uncertainty, they all started to fade. The comeback wasn't just possible, it was happening right before his eyes. That night, Rose didn't just show up on the scoreboard, he showed up for himself, reclaiming his identity as an unstoppable force. Kevin Durant's turning point came during the 2019 NBA Finals when he was recovering from an Achilles injury. After months of doubting his body's ability to return to the court, Durant shocked everyone by playing in Game 5 of the Finals. Despite being under intense scrutiny and the pressure of returning too soon, Durant hit an incredible three-pointer that not only shifted the momentum but also ignited a fire within him. That shot didn't just help the Warriors in that game, it sparked the realization that his body, though battered, wasn't the only thing that needed to heal. His mind, his confidence, was the key to his comeback. Durant's ability to overcome the self-doubt and perform under pressure proved that his mental resilience was just as powerful as his physical strength. For Paul George, the turning point came when he finally felt the strength in his leg after his horrific injury. It wasn't one game but a gradual feeling, like the first time he made a dunk again or the first time he defended at full intensity without pain. It was the first real sign that his body was returning to form. These small victories were what led to his mental breakthrough, where he realized he could not only return but thrive at the highest level. These pivotal moments weren't just about making a play or hitting a shot, they were about rediscovering their purpose, fighting through the fog of doubt and proving that their journey wasn't in vain. It was a moment of rebirth, the first light at the end of a long and dark tunnel. Yet, as they celebrated their breakthrough, they knew that the battle was far from over. The real challenge now was sustaining the effort and pushing for even greater heights. This is the moment that defines a career, the culmination of everything the player has worked for, fought for, sacrificed for. After all the setbacks, the struggles, and the doubts, this is where the world holds its breath. The arena is electric, the stakes couldn't be higher, and the final seconds on the clock feel like a lifetime. Every eye is on the player, and every decision in these final moments will determine the outcome, not just of the game, but of their entire journey. For Kobe Bryant, this moment came in 2006 against the Toronto Raptors. With the game on the line, Kobe did what Kobe does best. He took control. The game was tied and the clock was winding down. The crowd was on the edge of their seats. With no timeouts left, the ball was passed to him at the top of the key. The defense closed in, but Kobe wasn't worried. He dribbled once, twice, and then in a flash of brilliance, he pulled up for a jump shot with a defender in his face. The ball soared through the air in what felt like slow motion. As it dropped into the basket, the buzzer sounded. The crowd erupted into wild celebration, but for Kobe, it was more than just another game winner. It was a moment that validated his endless work ethic, his refusal to let failure define him. The critics, the doubters, he had silenced them all. Kevin Durant's climax arrived during the 2017 NBA Finals Game 3 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Warriors were leading the series 2-0, but the Cavs weren't going to go down easily. The stakes were high, and every possession mattered. With under a minute left, the game was tied. Durant, who had been playing phenomenally throughout the finals, received the ball at the top of the arc. With the clock winding down, he faced LeBron James, one of the greatest defenders in NBA history. The two locked eyes. Durant made his move, a quick crossover followed by a pull-up three-pointer. As the ball left his hands, the entire arena held its breath. The ball swished through the net as the Warriors took a three-point lead. The arena erupted, and Durant, with a calm smile, knew that shot wasn't just a game winner. It was his moment to prove that he belonged on the biggest stage. That shot was a statement to the world that Durant had arrived, and he wasn't backing down. For LeBron James, the climax came in Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals. Down 3-1 in the series, the Cleveland Cavaliers were fighting for their first ever championship, and the Golden State Warriors were determined to close the series at home. With less than a minute remaining in a tied game, LeBron made his iconic block against Andre Iguodala, an unforgettable moment of defensive brilliance. But the true climax came on the very next possession. Kyrie Irving, standing at the three-point line, looked to his left. LeBron was on the move, ready to make history. As the ball was passed to him, LeBron's eyes locked onto the hoop. The crowd roared in anticipation, and for a split second, time stood still. LeBron drove to the basket, absorbing contact from Draymond Green, and scored the layup. The Cavaliers had a 2-point lead with 30 seconds left, and the Warriors were out of options. For all these players, these moments weren't just about winning the game. They were about proving their worth, overcoming everything that had been thrown their way. It was a moment of pure validation. It wasn't just the final shot, the buzzer beater, or the championship. It was the culmination of years of pain, struggle, and sacrifice. They had reached the pinnacle, and the crowd's roar was just the backdrop to the deeper, more meaningful victory that they'd achieved: redemption. After the euphoria of the final buzzer fades and the confetti settles, the reality of the journey begins to set in. For the player, this is the moment when the years of hardship, sacrifice, and struggle culminate in a feeling of overwhelming relief, joy, and even disbelief. As they stand on the court, surrounded by their teammates and fans, it's not just about the trophy they've earned, it's about everything that led to this moment. For Kevin Durant, that moment in the 2017 NBA Finals was not just the validation of his incredible skill and hard work, it was the acknowledgement of the years he had spent battling the doubts and criticisms that followed him throughout his career. As he stood there holding the Finals MVP trophy, his eyes welled with emotion. The feeling wasn't just one of triumph, it was a quiet pride in knowing that he had proven everyone wrong, overcoming the constant questioning of his decisions and his legacy. Durant's journey wasn't just about the championships he won, it was about showing the world that even the greatest have to fight for their place in history. For LeBron James, winning the 2016 NBA Finals meant something even deeper. It wasn't just about overcoming a 3-1 deficit and capturing his first championship. It was about fulfilling the promise he made to the city of Cleveland. It was about bringing a title to a long-suffering fan base. As LeBron stood on the podium, holding the trophy high, he looked back at the years of disappointment, the pressure to succeed, and the weight of the entire state of Ohio on his shoulders. The joy on his face wasn't just about being a champion, it was about redemption. He had carried the hopes of a city, a state, and an entire generation, and in that moment, he had finally delivered. For Kobe Bryant, the 2009 and 2010 championships were not just a career milestone, they were the final pieces of his legacy. After years of doubters calling him selfish and questioning his leadership, Kobe had silenced them all. His 5 championships spoke volumes, but it was the journey to those titles, the injuries, the mental struggles, and the never-ending pursuit of greatness that made the ultimate victory so sweet. As he held up the 2010 Finals MVP trophy, Kobe's eyes reflected not just the pride of winning, but the relief of knowing he had completed his journey, had proven his greatness, and had left a legacy that would inspire generations to come. The impact of their success ripples far beyond their personal achievements. Their stories have become a beacon of inspiration to millions around the world, showing that no matter how tough the journey, no matter how many obstacles stand in the way, perseverance and determination can lead to greatness. Their triumphs are proof that dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem, are worth fighting for. The player's story transcends the basketball court. It's not just about the championships, the awards, or the accolades. It's about the legacy they leave behind. Their journey has become a testament to what's possible when talent meets determination, and when an athlete refuses to give up despite the odds. LeBron James's impact on the game is undeniable. Beyond his on-court brilliance, LeBron changed the landscape of the NBA, not just through his play, but through his activism, philanthropy, and influence as a businessman. His rise from a young boy in Akron, Ohio, to a global icon has inspired millions of athletes and fans alike. His commitment to education through the LeBron James Family Foundation and his business ventures have cemented his place as one of the most influential figures in the history of sports. For today's generation, LeBron's name is synonymous with excellence, resilience, and giving back. Kevin Durant's story has shown that greatness doesn't always follow a straight path. His decision to join the Golden State Warriors and his subsequent championships proved that personal sacrifice for a larger goal can redefine an athlete's legacy. Durant has inspired players to follow their own paths, make bold decisions, and not fear criticism. His determination to be his authentic self and chase greatness on his terms motivates countless individuals, athletes, and non-athletes alike to remain true to their journey, no matter how unconventional. Kobe Bryant, whose Mamba mentality became a global movement, continues to inspire long after his passing. His relentless pursuit of excellence and his belief that the process is the product has left an indelible mark on athletes across all sports. Today, his name is a reminder that setbacks are just stepping stones to greatness, and the legacy we leave behind is built on the moments we fight through adversity and never stop striving for more. The journey of these players is proof that no dream is too big and no obstacle is too great. Their stories remind us all to keep pushing forward, because the true measure of success is not just what you achieve, but the legacy you leave behind.